Hello everyone, and welcome to week 4. Today we have a lot to get through, so let's jump straight in. Starting off the week is the critically acclaimed Room. Oh, we wish. Room without the dirt earned Brie Larson and Jacob Tremblay several awards, which we definitely thought were well deserved. We find it peculiar that Larson has declined in her acting talents of late, but Tremblay only gets better, most recently giving us the single best scene from Dr. Sleep, which we got a lot of morbid enjoyment out of. Anyway, while the first half of Room is a brilliant piece of cinema, any sense of drama and tension is immediately dismantled when the film just keeps going for another hour past the climax. At first, we thought it would be a short but sweet epilogue, only to realise Abramson inexplicably decided to make this the main focus of the plot. Two films were spliced together here, and only one was worth watching. Watch this film for the performances, but don't stick around expecting something that is consistently engaging. We give Room a B2. Now for something a little bit more obscure. Two Mules for Sister Sara is a Clint Eastwood western without Sergio Leone at the helm. The writing and performances are certainly good, though we definitely felt like there was far too much talking, especially since Eastwood's strengths lie in his charming silence. It's interesting to note that Fistful of Dollars likewise initially had an overabundance of dialogue, but Eastwood had the foresight to cut a lot of his own lines. It's a shame he didn't here, as something was lost from his character by there ironically being too much. This film is not Siegel's best film by any means. That title most likely goes to Dirty Harry, which in fairness we enjoyed just as much as Two Mules. But this is nevertheless a fun adventure with gripping characters, and the cinematography frequently surprises in its artistry. We give Two Mules for Sister Sara a C3+. Onwards to our first non-film, Brazilian series 3% is a fascinating allegory of our own world, set in a dystopian future where society is physically and ideologically divided between the elites and everyone else. A lot of very interesting narrative arcs arise from the chaos of characters. We are rather conflicted on the series, as it is very uneven in its quality from episode to episode. On the one hand, the many vibrant characters are phenomenal, fleshed out to their maximum potential to make for truly impressive drama. On the other hand, the plot is at times simply idiotic, with brainless decisions constantly making for a frustrating viewing experience. Even so, premise is inherently something that would hook us from start to finish. So while the writing and production design isn't the best, everything is held together just enough so that the myriad of flaws become minute in comparison to the grandiose battle of minds, a chess game where the pieces clash with tremendous vigour. We give 3% a C4+. Speaking of chess, after finishing the fourth and final season of 3%, we immediately jumped onto Magnus. This is a documentary about the current chess world champion Magnus Carlsen, detailing his childhood and chess journey from prodigy to grandmaster to the best player who ever lived. Perhaps there isn't a great deal of substance to this documentary, and perhaps one has to be a chess player themselves to glean every nugget of value that sparkles inside him. But since we are chess players ourselves, we absolutely loved it. Now, 2020 may have been a disappointing year for the world, but it definitely wasn't for the chess community. The Queen's Gambit, for example, revitalized the game for the public, with an explosion of online chess activity and engagement with the Twitch streaming geniuses such as Eric Rosen.
Take a bishop. Oh no, my queen! My queen, the knight defends the queen. Okay, checkmate.
And Hikaru Nakamura.
I will take, check. Let's see if I can, how close I can get to a mate. Let's see, can I get it? Oh, voila. I didn't even have to make any moves.
Magnus himself is facing serious competition for his title, even more so after his drastic defeat at the hands of Dubov.
Magnus Carlsen is on the verge of elimination now.
If Magnus Carlsen loses this game, he will be out. Daniil Dubov will be heading to the semi-final. Wow, and we can see it on Magnus now. He definitely... Wow, look at him. He realizes he blundered.
Yeah, total blunder. I mean, it's super difficult to see that your king will be safe in the corner out there in the open, and that you Black needed just to activate the queen and have some counter threats. And now Magnus has advanced the pawn, but I think it's all over.
Yeah, and actually we had this scenario yesterday with Magnus, his king, being attacked by a queen and a rook. The black king is not safe. Magnus Carlsen also only with 20 seconds.
It's going to be checkmate.
It's checkmate on the board.
And that's it. He's...
Oh, look at Daniil Dubov. his hands in the air. He has beaten the world champion.
So we definitely recommend watching this film above all others from this week, simply because it offers an introduction to such a dynamic and rewarding world. We give Magnus a B4. But what is a recap? With at least one film to dampen our spirits. Beneath the Planet of the Apes is the second film in the original Planet of the Apes series, and what an embarrassment it is. We did like the first film, even if it's hardly a masterpiece, but they completely dropped the ball with the sequel. Simply too absurd to put into words, with psychic humans and a golden nuke appearing from literally nowhere. At least there's a lot of killing to quench our dehydration, but the sooner we erase this from our minds the better. Remarkably, the third film is actually good. In fact, we would argue it's the best of the series so far. Escape from the Planet of the Apes quite literally escapes from all the nonsense that plagued the previous two films, with the apes now being the strangers in our human world. Zero and Cornelius have way more personality than the human protagonists we were forced to endure, leading to genuinely funny scenes with characters that we actually care about and a plot that actually makes sense, instead of making up stuff as it goes along. The writing is far tighter here, so while the budget is markedly poorer, the film itself is enjoyable to watch. We give Beneath the Planet of the Apes an F3, Escape from the Planet of the Apes a B4.
Our lives are not our own. From womb to tomb, we are bound to others.
This is John Galt speaking.